no veas, a Sevilla. Y al último que cuando ya salió la bien de regla.
It is Wednesday on Raid Shadow Legends, but you knew that. Update 1030 has been added to the game, as you can tell by the different background to the Bastion, including this by the market, that by the portal, etc. And a few other changes have been implemented, the first of which is the buff to Aelil and the Calamitous are live, in terms of how they have buffed them, because they're both pretty sad. So this is now a 3-turn cooldown, this now does more damage, this skills look better, and the passive now actually self-buffs increase attack, instead of being that worthless self-heal when he otherwise got one shot. Aelil is now better damage multipliers across the board, and the A2 now ignores 25% of defense, so alongside Helm Smasher, Cat's Gaze, and Merciless or Savage, you are now ignoring 95% to 100% of a target's defense, which means this can now actually start killing things. Does this make Aelil a Stone Skin counter? Actually, yeah, I think it does. Unless he hits into reaction or just gets gear checked, or the champion has a way to say that, oh, you killed me? No, actually, no, I didn't die. Then yeah, but apart from that, he should work for that. But what we're here for today is what you saw in the video title and the thumbnail, which is the new Fusion announcement, which is going to start on the 10th. So let me just get rid of this and go to this, and here we are. I'll just move this over here. So Lord Entertainer Fabian, he is Spirit of Trinity, Undead Hordes, Legendary Support. Yes, another support fusion. What do you expect? Support's the best role in the game by a significant margin. Of course every fusion is going to be that. More people go for it as a result. And he is intended as a offensive support with a lot of CC capabilities. So to go on the A1, Service in Death. Attacks with enemy 2 times. Steals 10% of their turn meter on each hit, and puts True Fear in them for 2 turns if they have no turn meter. So this is fine against most things. Do not use it against Marias. You will not like what happens next. But apart from that, as an A1, this is okay. Obviously on counter attacks, it's always going to True Fear them because they won't have turn meter past that point. So yep. A2, Unwelcome Guest, and this bucks down to a 3-turn cooldown. Single target, puts a Petrification on them. Now, Petrification is blocked by block debuffs or Stone Skin, but otherwise, when this lands, it will take all their other buffs off them, and they are turned to stone with 75% DR, but they take 3 times as much damage from bombs. And for everyone else who isn't under Fear or True Fear, he fears them all for 2 turns. And he'll do this every time an enemy passes a fear check. So they thought they weren't feared before, they are now. Now already, I know, sort of thing of, oh, debuffs, polymorph, yeah, I guess just put him in pinpoint or something. That's the last time I'm going to mention that. A3, Spectral Flourish, attacks all enemies before attacking, so this does not check affinity. He has a 75, bucks down to 100% chance of decreasing alteration of all buffs and enemies by 3 turns. And decreasing buff duration does not check polymorph, so you can do this very safely. And then he has a 75, bucks up to 100 chance of increasing all their skills cooldowns by 3 turns. And then also because support's a really weak role, if there's no buffs on anyone, he has an extra turn. So a 3-turn lockout on a 4-turn cooldown that's also got a full buff strip is a very, very strong skill. And this is very similar to Night Queen Krixia, who is a sought-after mythical champion. Now, obviously, compared to Krixia, he hasn't got an alternate form, and past this A3 similarity, their rules are a bit different. But for many, if you got Alice from the Alice Adventure collab and thought that a 2-turn lockout and a 4-turn cooldown wasn't good enough for you, well, here you go. Now it's up to 3 turns. And then the passive, Ghost of Most. Whenever the enemy is revived, place the True Fear on them for 2 turns. If multiple enemies that's only if you have multiple of this guy. And this has no cooldown, so everyone that gets revived, if he's around, he fears them. And then, because supports are weak, he self-cleanses any CC on himself at the start of his turn. Apart from Sheep, because at that point he's literally not in a match, but... And then finally we have a 90% all battle speed aura, because they just put that in everything nowadays. It's easier than, like, I don't know, like 33% defense in Doom Tower or something irrelevant like that. So, where can you use this guy? Obviously, PvE like Chimera and Hydra are out because you can't really fear those or lock them out or steal their turn meter. So he is mostly an arena champion, although for people getting him early on, he is very good for like Doom Tower, Curse City, PvE progression, because he will just lock out all the waves and buff strip them, fear them, etc. So he's perfectly fine there. He's not going to be a part of any speed farm comps because, unlike Krixia, he hasn't got an alternate form which resets your cooldowns. Yeah, you'll have to use your Prince Kaimar or Furball for that one. But apart from that, he does quite a few things. Is he as OP as Armand's Magnificent was last year for Raid's previous anniversary? No. Armand's was someone who took a long time and a lot of anti-Armand's measures to finally become slightly manageable. But really, if there's anything at all that made Armand's get worse for higher Gorb, it's one of submission. Like, how does he play if he tries to point and click someone and then gets turned into a sheep himself on a flat 50% chance that he can't do anything about apart from be in pinpoint? So, yeah. But should you go for him? I think you should, really. I don't think he has the tools to deal with the current plat meta, because he's wrong affinity against like Nace, Siegfried, Gizmek, etc. And against all these mythicals, trying to lock them out does not do a whole lot to them a lot of the time. But in terms of general use, I would say that he definitely has a few places that you could pick him. And I don't just mean limited content or trying to use him with Tribune Heraclites if you have him from the faction Unity. You could just use him in other places. So, yeah. I might as well use him unless it's particularly difficult. You never know. It might be. Might not. And I think you should do it as well. Because unless you're there with your Warlord and Krixia and Furball, you're probably going to appreciate another Lockout effect alongside what else he does. So, yeah. And to go back to RSL, there you go. I will be making a video either today or tomorrow regarding the buffed Calamitus, so look forward to that. Aelil, I've been chasing around for people who will let me play with one that is empowered or 6-star or something. I've had no luck yet, so hey, if you're gonna help me out with that, great. Otherwise, yeah, that's kind of everything for now, so yeah, Gothless Fusion is pretty good. Alright, I'll let you go now. See ya.